Okay, welcome to another IELTS speaking practice video by Johnny. So here we have class IELTS 40. So they are doing their regular speaking practice. Are you ready, class?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Let's go to part 1. Topic 28, which is about relax. So, Mr. Trung, what do you do to relax?
Yeah, regarding relaxing activities, I often listen to music and
Music.
do,
Music.
yeah. I often listen to music and doing the housework at the same time. Yeah.
But that is not exactly what you do to relax. To relax means that you do not have to do anything, but you said household activities are not a way to relax. Nó không phải cách để mà relax, nghỉ ngơi giải trí
Yeah.
mà.
But I think it's my way of relaxing because I enjoy
Interesting.
doing the house chores after a long day at work and after
Okay.
all the stress. Yeah,
If
is
you
that my
say
time?
so, if you say
Uh,
so, okay, Phúc, how about you? What do you do to relax then?
Well, actually, I usually play game when I feel stressed or after I study to reduce.
Oh, believe me, I also play game when I feel stressed too.
Yeah, I
Yes. Okay, so
I
Phúc,
well
do you think doing... Yeah? Please continue.
I usually play game and like I usually play game and surfing the internet to relax after I have study.
I see. So tell us, please, Mr. Young, do you think doing exercise is a good way to relax? Like physical exercises?
I think yes, because at the time your muscle will will be like activate after a long day. You
Will be activated after a long day, yeah?
after a long day using learning and just sitting alone. Yeah, so I think exercise is a good way to relax. Really good way.
Alright, so tell us, do you think vacations are a good way for you to relax, Miss Tường?
Yeah, I think vacation is another relaxing activity that people usually do to relax to release their stress in their holiday, like a break from a busy schedule and routine for a few days is always good as it refreshes our mind and one can get back to their routine with a happy vibe and mood after their vacation. So I think that vacation is a good activity for someone to relax themselves.
I see. Alright, so Mr. Trung, do you feel you need more time to relax sometime?
yeah, I do believe that I need more time to relax sometimes. But um,
Yes?
yeah, yeah. But it is hard for me to uh, spare the time in my schedule to relax because we
Mm-hmm.
need to go to work, and I really appreciate if I can have more time to relax to enjoy it myself.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I see. Right, so Mr. Trung, do you think people need more time to relax these days?
in my opinion, I think people need more time to relax these days. However, the
Yeah.
type of entertainment, the way people are relaxing, is not efficiency.
What?
I
Wait. It's not efficient, right? It's not
Yeah,
efficient, dùng tính từ.
is not efficient. Okay, so I mean, for example. when people relax, they will enjoy surfing the internet, watching the TikTok.
The internet.
Yeah, the internet, watching the TikTok. It's
Đờ
not.
TikTok là không được rồi, mấy cái trên mạng quá đờ nha. Watching YouTube, watching TikTok, watching or watching Instagram videos or pictures, looking at pictures, something like that.
Yeah, and personally, I think it's not the proper way to relax. It even creates more stress for the audience. Yeah.
Right, more stress for the audience, I say. Okay, right. So, Mr. Phúc, do you think vacations are a good way for you to relax? Because you went on a vacation, I think yesterday, was it? No.
No. Tuesday.
Tuesday?
Next
Oh,
Tuesday.
I see. Right, I see. So,
Well,
do you think vacations are a good way for you to relax, Phúc?
Well, in my opinion, I think it's a good way for we to relax. Because, like, when I go to vacation, I just like after a year, I study and get a lot of exams, and I want to went on a vacation to reduce all of the stress after 1 year.
I see. Right, okay. So, Young, do you feel people these days need more time to relax?
Thầy gọi con không?
Hello?
I'm here. And can't you hear me?
Trả lời đi chứ, Dưỡng. Come on. I need your
Không,
answer.
vừa nãy có bị lag á thầy, con không nghe được.
Do you think people need more time to relax these days?
I think yes, because nowadays people really busy and they keep company with their work, their jobs every day from the morning until the midnight.
Until the midnight là sao? Until midnight thôi.
Until midnight. So they really need much more time to relax, so they can refresh their energies for the next day.
For the next day, I see. Alright, so, okay, let's do another part 1. Or maybe we can just do part 2 now, because I feel like our class is ready. Okay, so, let's do a part 3 and part 2 and part 3, yeah. Okay, so, where is 38 now? Let me see. There you go. Okay, describe a time when you needed to use your imagination. Hãy miêu tả một cái thời điểm mà lúc đó các bạn phải sử dụng cái trí tưởng tượng của các bạn. You should say what the situation was. Tình huống đó lúc đó là tình huống gì vậy? Why you needed to use your imagination? Tại sao lúc đó bạn lại cần sử dụng trí tưởng tượng các bạn? What the difficulties were about it? Lúc đó đã có những khó khăn nào? Careful, past tense, okay? Quá khứ. And explain how you felt about it. Giải thích là bạn cảm thấy thế nào về cái điều đó. So basically this one is about imagination. So you have part 3. Do you think adults can have lots of imagination? Bạn có nghĩ người lớn cũng có thể có rất nhiều trí tưởng tượng không? Maybe it's better to give a lot of examples about different fields, you know, cho ví dụ về nhiều mảng khác nhau chẳng hạn trong cuộc sống. Do you think imagination is essential for scientists? Bạn có nghĩ trí tưởng tượng là tối cần thiết cho những nhà khoa học không? Once again, of course, you have to use your reasonings and give examples when they need to use imagination. If you don't agree, well, then you should explain why. Nhưng mà mấy câu này phần đông á, là nó sẽ có thể chia ra hai hướng, tức là tùy trường hợp nha. Phần đông mấy câu part 3 đều có thể chia làm hai hướng nha. Okay, so what kinds of jobs need imagination? Remember that part 3 question. You can always speak in one way, but you can always speak in a different way as well, in different view, like the opposite way, the opposite view, you know? Like it depends on the situation, you know, còn tùy vào trường hợp chứ. So, okay, next question is what kinds of jobs need imagination? Những loại công việc nào cần trí tưởng tượng nào? What subjects are helpful for children's imagination? Những môn nào thì hữu ích cho cái trí tưởng tượng của trẻ nhỏ? And how can people build or improve their imagination? Làm thế nào để con người ta xây dựng hoặc là cải thiện cái cái trí tưởng tượng của họ? Okay. And then that's it. You have some time to think now. Okay, please describe a time when you needed to use your imagination, please. First, I would like Mr. Phúc to start first, please. Cẩn thận cái quá khứ nha Phúc ơi. Careful with the past tense. Hello, Phúc ơi, your turn.
Dạ. Thì cho anh Trung trước, em chưa suy ra.
Oh, really? Come on. Okay, then Tường, please, you first. Describe a time when you needed to use your imagination, please.
Well, as students, I have to use my imagination a lot for like different subjects, such as my essays in literature or art classes. But once I had to use my imaginations for the first time was when I was in grade 8 in my art classes. So my teacher told us to draw a picture, but without any specific topic or something like that. And we had to entirely based on our imagination to finish our task. I was our task, and so like because we often have a particular topic or some specific models to base on before, but now at that period of time we just all we had was the paper and our brain to imagine the pictures inside. It was hard because I had to imagine a lot for it that time. But after a while, I felt like I wanted to draw my countryside afterwards. So I tried to close my eyes and imagined how my hometown looked like. And after like 30 or 40 minutes, I finished my pictures, and it was hard because I had nothing to base on, or I had nothing to follow, but it was still like a really exciting and
Remember, you have only 2
experience.
minutes for part 2, okay? Có 2 phút thôi nha. Maximum for part 2, okay. So, stick to what you should say. Tập trung vào mấy cái you should say. Mặc dù nghe cái nội dung em nói có vẻ ổn nhưng mà nó hơi bị lố giờ rồi nha. Okay. How you felt about it?
I felt like at first it was hard, but I actually felt it really fascinating because I
feel
realized
it's really fascinating. Are you sure? Fascinated or fascinating?
I felt fascinated about
Right.
how powerful the imagination was.
Okay, good. Alright, Mr. Trung, please describe a time when you needed to use your imagination, please.
I can vividly recall one time I needed to use my imagination. The situation was I was late for my work. The reason was that I forgot to set the alarm, and then I overslept. Okay. So I faced some difficulty because my team leader was very strict, and he was
Very strict,
always
are you sure? Okay, so
Yeah.
what happened next then?
and and uh, and 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 yeah, and he was always stressed about the work. So if I want to have my day off, I need to inform him in advance. And yeah, so that's the main reason why I need to use my imagination as an excuse for my being late, or I'm sorry, for my unable to go to work on that date. Okay, so after I sent my excuse to him, I felt a little guilty
Okay.
and relief at the same time. Yeah,
Relief and duty. Oh, I see.
yeah. Okay, so yeah, so that's one memorable time I needed to use my imagination. Yeah.
Right, good. Okay. Your turn, please.
So I usually spend my time on playing games. So there's a lot of tricks and puzzle I have to solve. So at that time, there's a puzzle. It's really hard to solve, and it
To
takes me
solve. To solve xuống
to
giọng.
solve
To solve.
to solve, and it took me about 2 hours to solve it.
Mhm.
And I have to use a lot of my imaginations and my uh, thinking and my thinking to fix it and
To
to
fix
fix
it
the
and what?
to fix it and solve the puzzle
Mhm.
correctly, and it's actually really really hard for me to do it.
To do it. To do it. To do it. You phải
To
do
do
it.
it.
You know. To
To,
do
to
it.
do it.
Okay.
To do it. And after about 2 hours, that is the uh pleased feeling, the most pleased feeling in my life. Then I can finally fix it after 2 hours of thinking and using my imagination.
Okay. Good. Alright, so you know what to do for your turn. Describe a
Yeah.
time when you needed to use your imagination, please.
Well, it's quite a long time ago. I think I was 12 years old at the time. I have a literature exam, and my teacher said that I need to wrote
I needed
like
to what? I needed to do what?
I needed to wrote like viết ngắn này. I need to roll like needed to describe about my pet, my pet.
Okay.
But at that time I didn't have any pet, so I need to use my imagination to image about a dog, and it's quite difficult for me because I never
Because I was never.
have a dog before.
Because I had never done it before. Quá khứ hoàn thành. Past perfect. Because I had never done it before.
I have done it before.
Had never done it before. Okay. Is that all?
And I feel as
And I felt. Quá khứ mà nhớ không? And I felt.
Like I felt
How did you feel?
I feel unhappy.
I see. Right, okay, let's go to part 3 now, shall we? So, Tường, please, do you think adults can have a lot of imagination?
I think yes, like adults can imagine things, and but they also have their like limitations that they have a boundary, like they restrict themselves in the reality, and of the world, and they just imagine about the things they want to achieve. But also because I met a lot of my teachers who have a really wonderful imagination, like the things that they see by the world, the things that they imagine how beautiful the world is. I think it's really fascinating. And I realize that adults, when they grow up, when they become a grown up, they can
Okay.
have their own wall or their own horizon too.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Phúc, what do you think? Do you think adults can have a lot of imagination?
Well, in my opinion, I think others can have a lot of imagination, but less than they were child when they were when they were young. I think they can use their imagination to build a lot of skyscraper, uh, draw, like
Yes.
they can use their imagination in art,
In
in
art, yeah. Is it the
in.
only field that they have to use their imagination? There should be
Mm,
more
I think
cases, you know?
yeah, I think they can use the imagination in cooking and also building.
In building work, construction.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea. Can
Um,
you elaborate? Có thể nói rõ hơn được không? Can you elaborate that?
mm, Actually, I can't. I just know they use the imagination to build like
Yes.
how can I say? They just they use the imagination to draw. Um, oh, kiểu họ
To
dùng trí tưởng
draw
tượng
what?
xây ra những bản thiết kế của những ngôi nhà
To
khác.
draw the blueprint. You know, this is a new word to learn, okay? So it used to be bản thiết kế của nhà nó là blueprint, tại vì sao? Ngày xưa nó thường in trên cái giấy bản màu xanh dương á. So they used to be printed in blue and on paper in blue, you know, so that's what they call blueprint. Bản thiết kế của nhà. So yeah, they needed to use a lot of imagination in that. So think about designing. Thiết kế thì sao? Ngành quảng cáo marketing thì sao? Like how about marketing and other fields as well? Especially when you have to think of contents, you know, phải nghĩ đến nội dung.
Content creator.
Yes, we are listening.
Well, I think they also use like they also use the imagination to create content if they were a content creator.
Content creator, such as me, yeah.
And they need to they need to have a new content to
content, yeah. To new contents
to thu hút gì
to attract viewers, to attract
viewers, to attract more viewers.
Okay, so Mr. Trung, what do you think? Do you think imagination is essential for scientists?
Okay, regarding the imagination for scientists, personally, I think is important for the scientists to have a good imagination, right? For example, without imagination, we don't have the smartphone. In the past, people used to imagine a device that has the screen, the input, And yeah, they have a lot of imagination for the future, and based on that imagination, the scientists can
The
uh,
scientists can do what?
s-
The
can work.
scientists can
Scientists can work on their products, their prototype, based on the
prototype. Very
imagination.
good. It's a new word. Prototype.
Uh,
Phiên bản thử nghiệm. On their
yeah,
prototypes. But also you need to imagine, to think of ways, think to hypothesize, để mà đưa ra một cái, đưa ra giả thuyết chẳng hạn. You need to imagine to hypothesize, you know, to think of how and where your research is heading to. Để xem là cái nghiên cứu mình đang hướng tới đâu. Where your research is heading to. What else then?
and with a good imagination, um, the scientists can have a good picture, a good conceptualization of the products they are going to make for a better future. Yeah. Okay, so I think imagination is essential for scientists.
Okay, I see. So, Mr. Young, what kind of jobs need imagination then?
So there's really a lot of kind of jobs and you need to use imagination, such as artists, musicians, or maybe a composer.
Musician, những âm không có musician, trời ơi.
Musician.
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 Musician, musician, musicians.
Musicians, maybe like Mozart, Beethoven.
Mozart, những âm đầu.
Mozart, yeah, Mozart, Beethoven.
It's called Beethoven, not Beethoven. Hai chữ E mà. It's Beethoven.
Beethoven. Such as for like scientists, which really important, and content creator, as right now.
Content creator.
Content creators, as right now, because they need to make really a lot of plenty of content.
A lot of what?
No, I mean plenty of content online to make money. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
That's
okay. So yeah. Okay. So Phúc, what kind of jobs need imagination then, Phúc?
Yes. Well, I think, in my opinion, I think designer. Well, I think artists. Content
I think you
creator.
already, yeah, content creators, such as like content creators working for what field then? You need to be more specific, you know?
Content creator like YouTuber or TikToker.
Is that all for part 3? Không đủ nha, không ổn nha, part 3 mà. Okay, folks, try another one. What subjects are helpful for children's imagination?
Well, in my opinion, I think art is the subject helpful for children imagination because, like, let's help children to draw what they imagine about, and this can also help them imagine about a lot of things.
Yes. Vậy mà đòi lên được 6 chấm hơn nữa hả? Trời ơi. Really, you need to try harder. Come on. Okay, Mr. Trung, please. So, what subjects are helpful for children's imagination then? What do you think?
Okay. Some people believe that the subjects related to arts like music, dancing, singing, painting are helpful for children's imagination. But I do believe that the physical subjects like
What do you mean physical subjects?
the subject like physical education, like sport, is
Right.
more helpful for children's imagination. Uh-huh. So here's my explanation. When it comes to the art, we learn the colors, the tone, the music. It was just a skill. But when we practice sport, uh, so there was some kind of hormone was released inside our body, and it helps to boost the creativities of the children. So I think the physical education is really helpful for children's imagination.
Right, I see. There you go. That's better. Perfect. Okay,
Yeah.
so Tường, please. So, what do you think? How can people build or improve their imaginations? Their imagination.
Well, I think that there are lots of ways or activities that can help one person to develop or improve their imagination. But I suggest that spending time reading fantasy novels can
Fancy.
also help develop our imagination, or novels, because like instead of reading comics or watching films, we can read books or any kinds of books without pictures, because we can develop our own characters, our own pictures, our own role of like how the novels becomes, or look like how the how the characters or how the stories will be like in our mind or in our imagination. And because if we do that, we want to know what next would happen, and we keep reading, reading, and reading, and we start imagining things, and that help our brains to improve a lot. And we start like apart from reading, also taking part in some quizzes or like reasoning quizzes also develops our imagination, because we imagine how the world or um, how we be in that situations, and we can give the most correct or most possible answers as we could. I think so.
That's a great answer then. Is there other ways? Mr. Trung, do you think how can people build or improve their imagination? Is there other way? Are there other ways?
In my opinion, imagination is a skill, and when it comes to skill, we need to practice a lot and a lot. Uh, that's one way to build the imagination. And okay, so and to assist the process of building or improving the imagination, we need to take more knowledge uh, from the world around us, and lessons and experience from people. Okay, so with enough of input, um, okay, and we can have a very strong foundation to build our imagination for the next step.
Right, that's great. Let's move on to another part 2 and part 3 question, shall we? Are you okay, class?
Maybe.
Okay, let's try 39 then. Describe a polite person, you know? A polite person. Miêu tả một cái người lịch sự mà các bạn biết. You should say who he or she is. Người này là ai vậy? How you knew him or her? Làm thế nào các bạn đã biết cái người này? What he or she is like? Cái người này như thế nào? Explain why you think he or she is polite. Giải thích tại sao bạn nghĩ người này lại là lịch sự. Okay, I should rewrite this one somehow. And you have part 3 of polite. What are the standards of being polite? Like standards during dating, eating out, being on time, like what to do to be considered as being polite. Cái cái chuẩn của chuyện mà lịch sự là thế nào. Ví dụ như là chuẩn lúc mà đi hẹn hò thì sao, ai trả tiền, đi đúng giờ hay không, ăn ngoài như thế nào, ăn mặc thế nào, like you know how to dress, who will have to pay, and during eating out being on time or not, you know, something like that. And during dating, what are the standards of being polite? Next one, what behavior will be regarded as impolite and why? Cái hành vi nào sẽ được coi như là bất lịch sự, tại sao? You can, there's a lot of things you can mention in this question. Có rất nhiều thứ mình có thể nói đến ở cái câu này nha. Like for example, being impolite. For example, if you date with someone and you expect them to pay for everything, that is very impolite and unfair. Ví dụ đi hẹn hò xong rồi cứ expect, mong chờ là người ta sẽ trả tiền hết, trong khi mình không phải trả đồng nào, đó chính là một điều rất là bất lịch sự và không có công bằng. That is impolite and unfair. Or think about the fact that you take the food from the plates of the other people or another table. That's the worst, you know. Lấy thức ăn từ cái đĩa của người khác, hoặc là lấy thức ăn từ cái bàn khác. That is extremely impolite, you know. Or what else can you think about it? Hãy tưởng tượng đi các bạn. What behavior will be regarded as impolite? Use your imagination. Okay. Next. Who are more polite? People from cities or those from the countryside, and why? Những người nào lịch sự hơn nè? Người từ thành thị hay là người từ những vùng hẻo lánh thôn quê khác? Tại sao? Think about the way they live, okay? Think about the way they think. Nó còn polite là do cái cách họ suy nghĩ, cách họ nói chuyện, cách họ hỏi han nữa nha. Think about the 10 questions that Vietnamese people commonly ask that are regarded as being very impolite, you know. 10 câu hỏi mà được coi là bất lịch sự khi mà gặp nhau của người Việt á. Think about those questions. Chừng nào thì cưới? When are you gonna get married? How much do you earn per month? Em kiếm được nhiêu tiền tháng? Yeah, these are very impolite questions. Why? Because it intrudes. Tại vì nó xâm phạm, nó mang tính mà cà khịa. It intrudes on the privacy. Nó xâm phạm vào cái sự riêng tư của người khác. Or when are you gonna bring home your lover? Khi nào đem về nhà người yêu đây? Well, that is really impolite too, because that is none of your business to ask that. Chẳng phải cái câu chuyện này, chẳng phải là có phải chuyện của mình không mà hỏi câu đó như vậy. And also, there's a lot of questions that are very impolite being asked from people from the countryside. And I have seen that a lot in other countries as well. They ask a lot for boyfriend, girlfriend. You know, that is sometimes the people being asked don't want to answer that, you know. Trong nhiều đất nước khác cũng vậy, chứ không phải chỉ mình Việt Nam đâu. Người countryside rất hay hỏi những cái câu mà riêng tư như vậy. But people from the cities are a bit different. They know and they will never ask those things. Okay. Well, you should also explain why they are like that. Tại sao người ta lại sống như vậy? Tại sao người ta lại suy nghĩ như vậy? Why do they act in a certain way? Like for example, if people in the city, if you stay over to at a friend's home, then of course you have to inform them. And if you are bringing anybody else, you have to inform them as well. But people from the countryside is different. They're not like that. Những người thành thị thường có thói quen đó là nếu mà có người bạn đến chơi á, thì phải báo trước, và có ai đến tiếp, có đem theo ai nữa không thì phải báo nữa. Chứ người ở vùng quê là họ cứ nghĩ là càng đông càng vui. Well, it's different, but of course it can cause inconveniences, you know. Nó thể gây ra những cái sự mà bất tiện cho cái chủ nhà. Will cause inconveniences to the host. Okay, think about this one. These are some examples, you know, that I can give. What do you think make people polite? Bạn nghĩ điều gì làm cho con người ta lịch sự? Tại sao người ta phải lịch sự? What makes people polite? Người ta lịch sự bởi vì người ta muốn giữ hình ảnh hay sao? Like to keep face, giữ thể diện. Đúng nghĩa là face là cái diện á, cái diện mạo á, giữ thể diện, to keep face. Or to appear, how can I say, to keep face, yeah. And is it to gain any kinds of advantages? Có thể để mà có được bất kỳ một cái lợi ích nào từ người khác không? There are reasons why sales people are very polite, you know. Có lý do tại sao mấy người mà làm sales á phải lịch sự là vậy. Để mà có thể mua mặt, để có thể dụ người ta mua hàng được chẳng hạn. To gain any kind of advantages, people have to be polite in sales business, for example. Is there any other reason? What makes people polite, you know? Tại sao đi ra làm phải polite? Why when you are working, you have to be polite? Because you don't want to lose customer, you know? Không muốn mất khách nha. You don't want to lose customers or something like that.
Lose your job.
Yeah, to lose your job or something like that. But you should also explain in further details, okay? Phải trả lời là chi tiết hơn chút xíu như vậy. Alright, you have some time to think about this topic now. Alright, so Mr. Young, you first, please. Describe a polite person you know.
So there's a long time ago, I meet this person. He's
I
actually.
met this person.
Oh, I met this person.
Cẩn thận mấy cái động từ. Come on.
And he actually my mother customer.
Oh.
I'm just at a time. I'm just like cashiers at a time. So I met him. After a while, talking to him, talked to him with my mom.
With my mother.
With my mother. He actually really polite. He keep like he know how to talk with my mom, and with me, either I don't really want to talk with elders because it's hard for me to talk with people.
What do you mean elders?
Nghĩa là nói chuyện với người lớn.
With the seniors là người già, còn elders là những người mà già làng á. I don't think.
Oh.
I think with the other people. Okay, let's just say that.
Yeah, I don't want to talk with that much. So he know the way how to talk with me. How can I talk with him for a long time? So I really like it, and he really polite in the way he talk, calmly and talk every situation, even with my grandmother.
Okay.
And so yeah, that's what I think.
Right, good. Okay, Phúc, your turn, please. Describe a polite person you know.
Yeah. Okay.
Cẩn thận cái động từ nha. Careful with the verbs.
Okay. It's quite a long time ago. It's the first time I met my best friend. Actually, first time I met him, I don't have a lot.
I didn't have a lot of
interest in him because he was a talkless person.
What do you mean? He was a talkative person, right?
Talkless, kiểu ít nói thầy.
He's a talkless, right? He doesn't talk much. He didn't talk much, right?
Yeah, he a talkless person, and after I lived with him for a long time, I said that him was a polite people, like
a polite person.
Yeah, he a polite person. He help like he buy food for older people, and he always help girls to clean the board or in the classroom, and he always like he's a talkless person, but when he talk, he like he don't like he very polite when he talk with girl or with his friends.
Trời ơi, fluency kém quá vậy. Okay, let's try again. Describe a polite person you know, because your fluency is really bad now. Come on. Try it again. I'm listening.
Tại vì em đang bị nhiễm nên là mỗi lần nói là nó hơi đau. Well, it's quite a long time ago. It's the first time I met my best friends.
My best friend.
And he was a talkless person. But after I played with him for a long time, I think
After I what? After I
played with him for a long time.
play with hả? Trời ơi, nhắc bao nhiêu lần rồi. Play with sai rồi, phải là hang out with. Hoặc là spend time
Chơi
with.
chung mà thầy.
Play with là chơi trò chơi với người ta.
Thì đó, em chơi trò chơi chung với người ta mà.
What do you mean? But you play with him. Nhưng mà play cái gì với him chứ? What do you play with him? What kind of game?
Chơi board game thầy.
Okay, fine. But you have to mention like what kind of game nha. Phải nói là cái loại trò chơi gì.
Rồi đó bọn em chơi trò tự nghĩ ra chưa?
You're wasting our time. Come on, continue. Okay, Trung, please. Can you describe a polite person you know?
Yeah. A polite person I met. So I had a chance to meet this person on the dating app. Okay. So he was he was totally stranger to me. Okay. Okay. So he looked just like me. Okay.
Oh wow.
Around my age, with the same body shape. Right. Okay. So, in my opinion, I think this person was very polite because we didn't like each other. Okay. Yeah. And our conversation was leading to nowhere. But we try our best to keep a positive um, atmosphere for each other. I think this person is very polite. Yeah.
Okay, I see. Yeah, that's good. Okay,
Yeah.
so Tường, please describe a polite person you know, please.
Well, I think politeness is a really good and great manners that everyone should have. But I still met. It was my English teacher when I was in grade 7 that I felt like she was really polite and kind to us. So to be honest, I was not really interested in English before. But when I met my English teacher in grade 7, she encouraged me a lot in my English. And also, she used to be polite with the other staff members in my school. And when I saw that, I felt she was a really nice and soft person. Also, that she treated fairly with all the students, no matter how we were bad or good in her subject. To say that every student in my class would get good marks in her subjects, and she would correct our mistakes politely. And also after that, she made us understand more about the mistakes we had made, and also helped us to recognize our mistake for the next time. So from that period of time, I realized that there was a really nice, like nice behavior so hard to follow, and also we thought that the way she taught us with politeness helped us to get that mark. We also learned that quality from her too. She was great. Like she was one of the greatest person I had ever met in my life.
Great, good. Okay, so let's go to part 3 now. So, Young, please. So, what's the standard of being polite then?
So,
You are a waiter. You were a waiter, or you are still being a waiter. So you should know how to answer this question. What's the standard
okay.
of being polite?
So there's a really much standard in polite, but there are some simple,
Just a moment,
like,
please. Just a moment, please. Someone's calling me.
yeah.
Okay, so
So,
Young, please continue now. So what's the standard being polite then?
so there's a lot of standard to be polite. So just simple. I will list some simple here.
Yes, please.
Polite people will say please and thank you every time they got some things being helped by someone. Like if you give something, if someone gives you some things and you need, you just need to say saying thank you back instead of saying nothing. Be quiet. After that, it will be rude. And the second thing is that they will not asking overly personal questions like how much money do you make if someone asking you like that, even though they are not strange to you, but if they ask like that, this will be really impolite, and and they will make you feel comfortable every time. Comfortable, comfortable, and if and don't interrupt when people is talking to each other. Usually, they will use the polite language to in talking to. Is that what I thought?
I see. Alright, so Mr. please, so what's the standard of being polite then? Like for example, some people think that if you eat everything in a plate, then that is impolite. So you have to leave something, at least something on a plate. You know, giống như kiểu không được vét đĩa. It's like I don't know why, but that thinking was still there somehow, you know.
Oh.
And some people they think that the food you eat, you should never eat like food that looks so liquidish, like Indian food, because it looks gross to them. It's weird, right? Especially from the north, you know. Rất nhiều người ở miền Bắc á, họ có cái kiểu suy nghĩ giống như kiểu mà mấy thức ăn nó lỏng hay gớm, giống kiểu cái thức ăn Ấn Độ chẳng hạn, nhiều người không thích cái kiểu như vậy, mà nó phải thanh cảnh, những đẹp đẽ. Like people want the food to be looking sophisticated and according to their way. That is being polite for them. What do you think, Tương? What is the standard of being polite then?
Well, I think that being polite means being like you being aware of and respecting the feelings of other people. And like there are many traits that make a person polite and them to be respectful to each other. Like firstly, what the golden rule of a good manner is to like know how to say thank you and sorry in some necessary situations. And also, I think that we should avoid asking some private or personal questions.
Too personal
Since,
questions, right?
yeah, like asking personal questions is not a really good and correct way to, like, a really good and correct way or approach to get to know more about someone. And
To
yeah,
approach
and
someone, okay? To approach someone, không có approach to someone nha.
and like we should let the other person, you know, take the lead rather than forcing them to share things that they may feel offended. And yeah, so we should avoid Like a habit that polite people share is that they know how to make others feel comfortable in the conversations too.
Right. Like if you were born, or if you have like origins, if you have northern Vietnamese origins, you would know that there are so many standards of being polite. Ở ngoài Bắc là cái tiêu chuẩn mà lịch sử nó nhiều lắm luôn á, nhiều kinh khủng luôn á. Like for example, you're not supposed to be the one who finish the food on the plates if it is being shared with a lot of people. Giống như không được là cái người cuối cùng mà lấy cái miếng cuối cùng trong đĩa mà khi mà ăn chung với người ta. That's one of them. And or không được và quá 3 lần một lúc. Like you are not supposed to you're not supposed to consume a lot of food in your mouth, or you're not supposed to put a lot of food like more than three times the food into your mouth and then swallow it at the same time, which is being impolite. And you are not supposed to say to talk loud or talk when you are eating or swallowing, you know, khi ăn đang nuốt thì không được nói chuyện nhé. A lot of these rules, you know, a lot of standards, but in the South it's much more relaxed. So what do you think, Trung? What's the standard of being polite then?
Okay, so from my point of view, the standard in Vietnam, there are so many standards of being polite, and we must base on the situations and the people in such situation to decide what is the standard of being polite. For instance, we are in the classroom, we have a teacher and we have a student. So, as a student, being polite means we have to be punctual. We have to finish our homework in time, and when we have some personal business that
Personal
prevents
businesses, huh?
businesses that prevents us from going to the class, we need to inform our teacher in advance. Okay, so just right before the class, as the class has already started. So I think that's the common standards of being polite for the student.
I see. You know, that's the bare minimum. That's the bare minimum. Nó chỉ là cái tối thiểu mà tối thiểu lắm luôn á. That's the bare minimum of being polite in class. You have to go to class on time. That's the bare minimum. Cái tối thiểu luôn á, phải đến lớp đúng giờ. And also you need to inform the teachers if you are late or you do not want to attend that class. That's the bare minimum too. Phải báo, nghỉ phải báo, hoặc là trễ học phải báo. Đó là một cái bare minimum. Alright, and also like there's a lot of standard being polite you have to know. Because if you don't do those things, people are going to be very angry at you, you know? So let's think about, okay, Mr. Trung is going to tell you the standards of being polite in a workplace. Do you remember what standards? So in a workplace, let's say that what is considered to be polite in a workplace then, Mr. Trung? Do you remember?
In the
like
workplace,
let's say when you share the work with other colleagues, or when you are eating with your colleagues, for example, what are the standards of being polite then?
being the standard of being polite at work is we do not interfere the people when they are working on their task, and we don't let our personal issues affect our colleagues' performance.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, so that is considered a standard of being polite at a workplace.
And also gossiping, you know, nói xấu sau lưng. Gossiping, nói xấu tám nhảm. Gossiping is actually generally considered as being impolite.
However,
or talking about personal issues of the other people is actually very impolite. Nói về vấn đề cá nhân, những chuyện cá nhân của người ta, it's very impolite. Yeah. What else then?
Yeah, okay, so although gossiping is considered impolite, it happened.
It happened a lot, yes.
Frequently.
Because people cannot help it. People cannot help it. You know, con người ta không cưỡng lại được.
It's
People
like
cannot help it, you know.
It's an essential part of any workplace. So.
Okay, fine. All right. So, Phúc, can you answer this question? So, what's the standard of being polite then? Có thể mỗi một bạn có một cái cách nhìn nhận khác nhau nha. Yeah, everyone has a different perspective. I would like to hear what Phúc has to say. So, what's the standard of being polite, Phúc? Like, for example, imagine if you play sports, okay? And if the other people does not wait in line to get into the room or to play, but they jump the queue, you know, họ nhảy hàng không chịu chờ đợi để vào phòng để chơi thể thao chẳng hạn. You would be very angry at them, right? Cái chuyện mà nhảy hàng xong rồi chen hàng là cái chuyện cực kỳ impolite luôn, mà diễn ra rất thường xuyên luôn á. So Phúc, think about that. Think about if you go to the gym, right? And then when you are working on the machine and then the other people just jump in and then use that machine without asking for permission, không hỏi permission, không hỏi xin phép. That is being impolite, right? What do you think, Phúc? I'm trying to help you, Phúc. Come on. Can't hear you. Không nghe được Phúc nói gì luôn á. I can't hear you. Okay, start.
Hơi khó chen mà.
Yeah. Go lên. You can do it. Try hard. You can do it. Come on. Ok, bây giờ Phúc đi date đi hẹn hò đi. Let's imagine that you are dating, okay? So, who will pay? What's the standard of being polite? And should you be on time or should you be late? Should you ask like very personal question on a first date? Lúc mà mới hẹn hò lần đầu tiên có nên hỏi mấy câu cá nhân không? Like something like that, Phúc?
No.
Come on, try to answer. It's part 3. Nay sao vậy? Biết là bị đau miệng phải không? Nhưng mà vẫn phải cố gắng. Em bị đau miệng chứ đâu. You know.
Em không biết cái này.
Alright, let's try the next question then. What behavior will be regarded as impolite? Hành vi nào bị coi như bất lịch sự nè? Why? Try it.
Well, in my opinion, I think that they ask a question about personality. What including?
Say again?
Where, like, in my opinion, I think that when people ask question about personal, or when they in public and they talk loudly and they act like nobody there,
Yes. Alright, so Ms. Tường, what do you think? What behavior will be regarded as impolite? Why?
Well,
yes.
I think
That is a bit impolite, yeah. Okay. Okay. Tường, so what behavior will be regarded as impolite? Sorry, it's funny.
Well, I think that there are so many examples of like disrespectful behaviors. Well, I think that the first thing is that the youngsters do not show their respect to the elders. Like that old people should respect those who older than them, and but in some cases I could see that the children in the family do not show the respect to their parents or even their grandparents. So I feel like it's a little bit bad for them because some and nowadays that the new generations are usually not being raised to respect the elders in their family but also in the community too. And also, I think that cutting in line when someone is talking is another rude behavior. Like it happens, I see that it happens all the time in some convenience stores, at public events, and also in the parks when I usually walk around.
Mm-hmm.
And so if someone's talking, but the other cut in line and they stop the conversations, so it's really annoyed and offended.
It is very
So
annoying, yeah.
yeah,
Indeed,
and
indeed, it's very annoying. I understand that.
mhm. And also, I think that's one behavior that should be considered as a really impolite and disrespectful behavior is that being late all the times and with the same excuse, like or different excuse, but they're not, but they come to work or they being online in some uh, like hanging out, and it's rude and it also affect to the others. So
Affect
that
are you sure affect? Affect không đi với từ nha.
affects
Influence cũng như
others.
vậy. It also affect the other people. Alright, good, very good, Miss Tường. Okay, so Dương, who are more polite then? People from cities or those from the countryside, and why?
I think it's not depends where they're from, cities or from countryside. It depends on what they have learned and what their parents teach them how to be polite with everyone.
How to
Like
be
uh,
polite
be
to or with
polite
everyone?
uh,
What else
to
then?
everyone. The environment in the school, like in some school, it is in countryside. The students still impolite and they still have a good manners better than the wealthy school
You mean
in the
like
city.
consider as private schools, right?
Oh yeah,
Private schools are often for the richer, families, more wealthy families, and of course, their children. Oh, I don't even want to start.
yeah.
Wow. Okay, but you continue, please, Young. Please don't let me stop you. See,
And
I'm being
it's
a very polite teacher.
and there's there and some people from the street they still really impolite with everyone, very polite with everyone. But there's still some people like rich people they not really care about everybody, so
They
they're really
don't really
impolite.
care. They don't really care about.
Oh, they don't really care uh, about everybody, so it's really impolite
I
for
see.
everyone. I think so.
Right. Okay. So, Mr. Oh, sorry. Okay. Sorry, Mr. Trung. What do you think? Who are more polite, people from the cities or those from the countryside, and why?
Yeah, okay, this is a very tough question.
Of course.
To judge or to have a feedback on whether the people from cities or the peoples from the countryside, who is more
Bless
polite.
you.
Yeah. Okay, so I think the people from cities are more polite than those from the countryside. Okay. However, I prefer to talk with the people from the countryside because they are friendlier. They
They
can
are
be
friendlier,
rude.
yes.
Yeah, they can be rude. Okay. but they honest and they tell us the truth. Meanwhile, people from the city is more polite, but sometimes the politeness
It's a bit
can
fake, right?
the politeness prevents them from having a really deep talk, a really true conversations with the people.
Interesting.
Uh, okay, so I think when it comes to politeness, people from the cities win, but I have an interest to talk with the people from the countryside. Yeah,
Interesting that you just mentioned.
yeah.
I think it's interesting, yeah. Okay, so yeah, okay, so Phúc, please. What do you think make people polite? Tại sao con người ta lại cư xử lịch sự? What do you think make people polite? Thực sự là một cái lý do rất là một trong những lý do rất là cơ bản, đó chính là để tránh làm cho người ta bị tổn thương á. Like one of the most deepest reason why people being polite, because they don't want to hurt the feelings of others. Không muốn làm tổn thương cảm giác người khác, cảm xúc người khác. So that's why they have to be very polite. And also sometimes they nói giảm nói tránh to they try to color the truth. Tô màu lên sự thật. To color the truth. Or to sugarcoat the truth. Bọc đường sự thật cho nó ngọt lên, cho nó đỡ đắng. To sugarcoat the truth. They try to be more polite, you know. Okay, so what do you think, folks? What do you think make people polite then?
Well, in my opinion, the first reason is about they don't want to hurt, like they don't want to hurt feeling of others. And for example, they was like they have a job and they meet a customer, they need to be polite.
Anything else?
They need to be polite if they need to be polite if they want to hold that customer, right? If they want to hold that customer, or if they want to hold a job. Yeah, and
Anything else?
and like
Yes, I'm listening. Còn gì nữa không Phúc ơi? Alright, let's try. Okay, Dương, what do you think make people polite then?
I think is how the way they talk, mostly how the way they talk, the body language,
Language.
like
The body
language,
language.
like eye contact, hands, maybe just mouth, and usually they used to listen more than speak, and if they
More
speak,
than
they will
speaking.
be, if they're speaking, they will be really nice and know how to be a good manners. I think so.
That's an interesting thing you just mentioned. I see. Alright, so Tường, what do you think? What do you think makes people polite?
Well, I think that different people will have their own reasons for being polite, but in general, I think that people always be polite because they want to show other people that they are well educated or they have good manners, and it helps them to leave a good impression, also like have a good impact on the other people. It also like influence other people on their private life. So if someone's being show their polite or their respect to the others, they can receive like the same attitude from them. And also like polite people seems to be really fascinating to me because they know how to treat people gently, softly,
Gently,
and really nice,
gently.
gently,
Mhm.
and in a really nice way.
That's a good way to say, I think. Right, okay, so we have only 15 minutes left, so I would like you to try a few part 2 topic that is not that simple, or it's a little bit more complicated, you know. Let's try 50 then. Describe a person you know who is talkative. Miêu tả một cái người bạn biết mà người này nói nhiều lắm. Let's try this one. 50. Okay. You have some time to think about it now. Oh, after this one, yes, you can go to your football field. No problem. But after this one, okay? Right. Okay, you have some time to think now. Okay, you can talk about it now. Describe a person you know who is talkative. You first, please.
So I have, so there's my best friends. So we've been friends to each other for about 7 years already.
We have been friends for.
We have been friends for 7 years already. So
Oh,
for me,
congratulations.
I'm actually not talking person, but opposite it is my friend. He talk really much, and
He talks
even
a
I don't
lot.
talk.
Let's just say he talks a lot. Okay.
Yeah, even I don't really want to talk. He's still talking.
That sounds
No matter
horrible.
times, I still can handle it. Um, so each day, and he talk about everything in the world, even the events we've been, or maybe just a lesson we just learned. He still can he still can talk about it, and it's actually really sometimes it's really over
Annoying.
for me. Yeah, annoying, and
Sometimes it's really annoying to me.
I cannot take it. But he's still my best friend, and I still being nice with him every day,
I still be
even though
nice
he's
to him, I think.
oh, nice to him. Uh, still be nice to him every day. We still keep still being best friends. Wow.
Okay.
That's all.
Alright, that's good then. I guess.
Hello.
Okay, yes, Tương, please. Can you describe a person you know who is talkative?
Well, I had best friends that I first met when we were in elementary school. At that period of time, she moved into my class after the first semester. Um,
Semester. First semester.
semester. Like at the beginning, we didn't talk to each other much because I had my own group of friends. But But after moving to secondary school and we still studied in the same class, we started to share how life was going on with each other and we became best friends. So at that period of time, I realized that she was a really talkative person, like the one that talks so much in our class. And she loves to talk about everything that comes to her life, like about she comments on every stories of the other people too.
Oh wow, that
But
sounds
still,
really bad.
yeah, I know, but like, but she was too like, but we were too young to realize that was a really bad habit at that time. So, but after like 2 or 3 years, she tended to like change her mindsets, and seems to be more. She's still talkative now, but she just talks about the things that we have the same interest into, such as the music or the films that we usually share with each other.
Very
And
good.
I feel like
How you
because I'm
feel?
an introvert, so I feel really lucky and fascinated to have an extrovert friend in my life as her.
Is she that extroverted?
Yeah, she's extroverted.
I see. Okay, Trung, please. Can you describe a
Amen.
person you know who is talkative?
Speaking of one person, one talkative person that I know, uh, it was my colleague. When we first got into the training of our previous company. Yeah, okay. He was younger than me, so he was full of energy, and he just wanted to take the spotlight. That's why he became intensely talkative, not to me, but to
That
other
sounds
people.
terrible.
Yeah, he's just take the chance of other
He
people
took
to
the
talk.
chance.
He took the
He
chance
took
of
the
other
chance to
people.
talk, yeah?
It was really extremely annoying. Okay,
Extremely annoying.
yeah. So after some time, the group, okay, so our group of training, know his way of communication, and then we have find a solution for him.
We found a solution, yeah?
Yeah, with a solution, and it's because he was talking all the time, so we try to exploit his uh, the, the, the wrong information in his speech. Okay, and we correct him, and after
We
a
try to
few
correct him by trying to pick on the.
yeah
Let's
his
just say that. Let's
mistakes.
just try to do it in a more natural way.
Yeah.
To pick on the information
Mm.
that he told us. To pick on the information that he told us. To pick on someone, you know, to pick on someone.
Yeah.
Giống như kiểu mà hay chỉnh người ta, to pick on someone, to pick on the information that he told us. So what happened next?
Okay, and after a few times of picking on the wrong information or his mistakes, he became shy, or he became embarrassed, right? Okay. Okay.
Embarrassed.
Okay. Yeah. So although he was talkative, but the group, okay, found a solution to fight against his annoying trait. Yeah. Okay, so regarding the feeling for this colleague, uh, actually we don't hate him. We understood him because he was so young. He just want the attention and the recognition from
The recognition.
the
Recognition.
the coworkers. That's why
Co-workers.
he became talkative. Yeah, yeah.
You sounds like, okay, you reminded me of a song. What did they say? How does it go? Oh, once once
Yeah.
quiet and twice shy, I keep my distance. Do something like that, you know.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Okay, Phúc, you can do your part now, and you can go to the football field. I won't keep you.
Okay. This is my teacher when uh this was my teacher when I was grade 6, and she was talkative. She always share with she always share with other students and help them to be more to be more hòa đồng,
What? To be more open.
to be more
To
open
be
with
more open. Hòa đồng.
to,
Cởi mở.
and she talk with another teacher, talk to the principal, and I studied with her for 3 years, and I say that she was a talkative people. She
Was a
was
what? She was a what?
talkative.
A talkative person, right?
Talkative persons. And she was friendly to talk with.
Okay.
Actually, I quite like her because she always shared with me when I still study with her.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, so how you feel about this person? Cố gắng lên, you can do it, Phúc. You can do it. Cố gắng lên.
Yêu là nêu cảm nghĩ này.
Oh, how you feel about this person? Em cảm thấy nào về cái người này?
I think she was a talkative like
Would you think she was annoying or she was helpful or something like that?
I think she was friendly, easy to make friends, and very
Yes.
yeah. Hoạt động này.
Okay, fine. You can go now. Okay, class over. I think today is enough. Okay, that's the end of my videos. Please like, share this video with your friends, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and press on the bell button next to the subscribe button so you can get notified about my new uploads, okay? You can also press follow my Facebook, but please don't add me on Facebook as friends, okay? Cảm ơn các bạn đã theo dõi nha. Các bạn hãy nhấn vào like, chia sẻ video này bạn bè các bạn. Nhấn vào nút đăng ký kênh YouTube mình và nút cái chuông kế bên cạnh để đăng ký kênh đó, để mà các bạn sẽ được thông báo về những video mới nha. Các bạn cũng có thể nhấn vào nút theo dõi Facebook mình, nhưng nhớ đừng kết bạn Facebook mình nha. Thank you and see you. Bye.